And now we're joined by our sports and entertainment correspondents, Colin Shirley and Nichole Houston. What do you have for us this week, guys?
Thanks, Megan. Well, hey there, Georgia College students. I hope everybody is doing great this evening. I'm joined by the magnificent Nichole Houston tonight.
Hello, everyone.
And we are going to give you all the sports and entertainment combined to give you a fusion of knowledge. And so I'd like to start off, as per usual, and ask, are things going well for you, Nikki?
Things are going excellent. I'm in a fantastic mood today.
Good, I'm
Today's
glad.
a good day.
You're excited for the break, aren't you?
I am. I'm so excited.
Who isn't? Who isn't? Do you have any fun plans?
Just spending time with the family, like usual, eating a lot of food. I'm not a huge turkey fan. That's weird.
What?
Yeah, I like the ham. I'm all about the ham and
One
the
of
stuffing.
those.
And just, eating food, spending time with family, just giving thanks to my stomach.
Right.
Because that's what Thanksgiving is all about.
Yeah, it's going to be thanking you. I mean, when it's not around Saga, it's probably going to be like, thank you, great food, finally.
That is
true. But for me, it's just going to be nice to go back to Marietta and actually get to work at my old location of job, which was Yogli Mowgli Frozen Yogurt. Nice. So that's always fun to get back in, earn a little bit of money for the next semester. But anyway, so it'll just be a nice couple days of school left, and then we head off back home.
And I'm sure it'll be good to catch up on some sports, too.
Oh, for sure. As always, the football stuff is going to just get right down to it on Thanksgiving Day. And so, as sports goes, there's a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to make sure to give you all I can now because we're going to have a week of no more sports and entertainment knowledge. So I want to make sure I give you as much as I can right here. So on a professional note, the Falcons lost.
Sad day.
Huge
Very
moment.
sad day.
I know. And so as it came down to it, we lost to who again?
The Saints.
The Saints.
Saints.
And so as it came down to it, it was the last couple minutes of the game, and he tossed it to Tony Gonzalez. Do you know anything about Tony?
No, I don't.
He's like the Chipper Jones of our football team.
Now that's
been playing
big.
For a long time, and he's pretty good, pretty dependable. Just let it slip out of his hands. A total Shirley move. And so, and what's surprising about him, a little fun fact you guys can throw around at the Thanksgiving table, guess what he is? Vegan.
Really?
Yeah, big, huge, muscular guy, and all he eats is greens. So if you're at Saga and you're thinking about a wrap or a nasty salad, maybe a nasty salad's the way to go.
Maybe.
You know?
Be like Tony Gonzalez.
Food for thought. But anyway, so we've got the Falcons there, but then also we've got the Hawks. The Hawks are now 3-4, doing okay, not the best. But I've heard really shocking news about basketball in another part of the country, and that is...
Over on the West Coast, the Los Angeles Lakers have fired their coach, Mike Brown, after 2 years. 2 years with the Lakers. And you know what? The season just started. They're now 3-5, and they've got a new coach named something D'Antoni.
Laker
Something.
D'Antoni,
something.
probably.
Who knows? I'm not a huge Laker fan. I like to keep up so I can, rough up some of those Laker fans when I'm getting into arguments with them, talk about Kobe Bryant.
Didn't you get into a fist fight downtown? Is that true?
We don't like to talk about
We
that,
don't like
but
to
that's
talk
fine.
about
We'll
it.
keep going.
All right,
Just
we'll
keep
move
going.
on. Interesting. But Laker facts, if you guys want to anger some Californians. And so in more local news, we've got the basketball team, our own basketball team, which is doing pretty well. We're 1-1, which is better than the Hawks are doing. We lost to West Florida this past week. But do you happen to know the senior Nate Hamilton?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I'm actually very good friends with Nate Hamilton.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to give him a tip of my hat because he got 28 points in
Wow.
his past basketball. 28. That's almost 30, guys, if you didn't know.
That's 2 from 30,
Yeah,
yes.
really, step
Very
back.
good math, Colin.
And so he was driving it down the court. He was putting up layups, putting a little bit of Kobe. Don't get mad. And he was getting it and really working hard. So I'm really happy to see how Nate did, and I guess we'll see how the season goes. We've got a couple more games coming up in the coming weeks. We don't have one next week, but as we come back, they really start to hit it. So make sure you can get out to Centennial as often as you can because if you want to see Nate on fire, now's the time.
Now's the time. But gosh, time really does fly when the semester's ending. And talking about time flying, I got to catch a concert this past Tuesday. Yeah, and the name of the group is called Timeflies.
No, look at that.
Yeah,
Destiny.
you like what I did there?
That.
You like that?
Punny.
It was good. It was
good.
good.
Stuff.
Timeflies is on a Tuesday, and they have this thing that they do called on Timeflies Tuesday. They send out this video on YouTube. And they just, update the fans on what's going on, and it was pretty good. It's kind of an electronic hip-hop duo between these two guys from the New York, New Jersey area. And it was a great time. It was in Atlanta, And it was just probably the best concert I've been to in a long time.
Wow. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you were able to catch it.
It was fun.
And it's funny that you mentioned concerts because, big news, guys, I had my first one. I went to my first one. I went up to the University of South Carolina this past Friday, and I went to a Pretty Lights concert. Now, for those of you who don't know, do you know Pretty Lights?
No.
No, okay.
The lights are pretty?
No, it's not an electronic light show, but that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
But it's dubstep electronica. Now, to go from no concerts to dubstep electronica was a little bit of a leap because there were people coming up to me.
Yeah.
I was offered a glow stick. I was offered to eat
Do
a
you
glow
know what
stick.
a glow stick is?
It's like, you snap it.
Yeah.
And that's not edible, though. And so I was really a bit surprised by the whole scenario. So anybody interested, they're not coming here anytime soon. But if you want to eat glow sticks, Pretty Lights.
Pretty Lights is where you want to go.
Interesting. But
you were too funny. Too funny.
Just,
You should, you should really go into comedy.
I'm kind of thinking more of being a librarian.
Really?
And so we'll see.
No,
how
I
it goes.
think comedy is your thing. And speaking of comedy,
Right.
improv isn't just for Drew Carey and the members of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Georgia College students get together every Thursday night at 8 p.m. in the basement of Blackbird Coffee, who is co-owned by Iona Holder. And Sean Noah gave us a sneak peek of what the improv group Armed Farces, not Armed Forces, is all about.
On Thursday nights, GCSU students as well as local Milledgeville residents gather in the basement of Blackbird Coffee for some flight of fancy that only the Armed Farces improv comedy troupe could provide. The group has been around for years and has been growing in numbers. I wanted to ask the Armed Farces a few questions.
How do you think that Armed Farces as a whole helps the community of Milledgeville and especially GCSU?
Well, we make Iona lots of money because people walk in there and they buy their drinks so they can come sit there and watch us make horrible, horrible jokes about terrible things and occasionally some clean humor. We do that too, and it's pretty good.
Well, basically, I go up on stage and I make stuff up as I go along instead of, because like scripted acting, like regular theaters where I use a script and, I recite lines I memorize. But here, I just make everything up as I go along. I improvise. That's what improvise means. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, we perform weekly shows for free at the Blackbird Coffee Shop, and we just like to make people laugh, give them an hour or two of comedy. They can get away from the stress of everyday life, especially the students.
If there's one thing you could say to the people who have never seen your show before, what would it be?
Our show is really funny. Can we start over this entire interview because I just...
And, it just helps college students have a place to go where they can unwind, and no matter what race or group they're involved with, we're making fun of all of them so everyone gets something to laugh at, including themselves.
The Armed Farces perform every Thursday in the basement of Blackbird at 8 p.m. Now, back to the studio.